Tonight on Business Live, increasing credit to businesses and stimulating growth dominates ongoing discussions at Monetary Policy Committee meeting of Bank of Ghana. Effective today at 6 p.m., airlines that board passengers without PCR test results will be fined $3,500 per passenger. Plus, the Ghana Investments Promotion Center, GIPC, reports surge in inquiries by foreign businesses following ease of COVID-19 restrictions. I'm Israel and Business Live is up presently. Providing more loans to businesses to turn around their lost fortunes, stimulating economic growth and preserving the stability of the city will dominate ongoing discussions at the 96th Monetary Policy Committee meeting. The meeting, which began today at the Bank of Ghana, will review the health of the economy. But this week's meeting is seen as very crucial in this COVID-19 era. George Jaffe gives details in the following report.
The meeting, which began earlier today, is bringing together all the three governors of the Bank of Ghana, some heads of department and two external members. The gathering is going on at a time that COVID-19 has impacted heavily on the economy, with some sectors struggling to recover. Therefore, the Bank of Ghana would want to look at ways that it can use its various monetary policy measures to direct credit to some critical sectors like the hospitality and manufacturing. The Ghana city has also seen some firm stability on the market over the past 3 months, but the concern here is that is this sustainable, or some fresh measures are needed to ensure that the stability is enjoyed for a long time, even going into next year. Some say this is very important because of its impact on stabilizing food prices on the market. It's because one of the main aims of the Monetary Policy Committee is to stabilize prices on the market, a development that could lead to a reduction in cost of credit and living as well. In all, the committee would also want to look at the fiscal side and what government should be doing to aid growth, whilst looking at the debt stock as well as the non-performing loans in the banking sector. The policy rate currently stands at 14.5%, as it was left unchanged at the Bank of Ghana's last meeting. Any review on this rate would definitely impact on the cost of borrowing and that loan that you are currently servicing at that commercial bank or any financial institution. The meeting is expected to end this Friday with a press conference held by the Bank of Ghana next Monday to tell journalists on what the new policy rate is, so the total debt stock and other development in the banking sector.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has begun the operation of its Quality Assurance Unit aimed at checking activities of internal revenue officers and its auditors on the field. The move is part of measures put in place by the authority to manage complaints of leakages in revenue between taxpayers and internal collectors. Commissioner General Amishadai Wusu Amma disclosed that the unit will also improve transparency among revenue collectors. Right, we'll bring you that story later, but you're still watching Business Live. And in other stories, effective today at 6 p.m., airlines that board passengers without PCR test results will be fined $3,500 per passenger. According to the Ghana Airports Company latest COVID-19 guidelines, non-Ghanaians may be refused entry and returned to the point of embarkation at a cost to the airline. The Ghana Investments Promotion Center, GIPC, is reporting that more foreign firms have expressed interest in doing business in the country. This follows the ease in COVID-19 restrictions as a result of the significant reduction in active cases. According to the GIPC, more enterprises have also expressed interest in returning to continue existing businesses. Chief Executive of the Center, Yofi Grant, tells Joy Business his outfit has instituted measures to ensure that this results in real capital attraction.
What I have seen in the first 2 quarters of this year tell a different story. Where in the first quarter, as I mentioned earlier, we had 180 million as foreign direct investment. The second quarter, against all expectations, we had $207 million of foreign direct investment. And it's been extremely busy for us at GIPC, constantly engaging, because everybody wants to know when the airports are going to open, when they want to come back to do their projects. We had significant development in the Accra Marine Drive project. We had significant development in the trade fair redevelopment side. We had significant development going to the Accra AI SkyTrain project, amongst many others that were almost getting investment ready until they were curtailed on the advent of so I think that Ghana is in a great position relative to many other countries, and I think what has happened over the past 3 years is a great testament to the fact that this is a country that is well positioned as the best FDI recipient, or the most attractive FDI recipient in West Africa by global authorities, not by ourselves. We have aggressive plans of development, and some of the policies that we have themselves have been very instructive in bringing foreign direct investment to partner with local enterprises to grow. For example, we've seen that in terms of number of investments that have come in since quarter one, and in the first quarter we registered 47 projects. In the second quarter we registered 21 projects. A significant proportion of them are in manufacturing. And always they respond that, oh yes, we like the 1D, 1F concept, and so that's where we want to put money.
Mr. Ghana, I wanted to find out from you that with the ease of restriction, does it make your work a little bit easier now compared to first, where people wanted to come in, but even other global economies as well are gradually up, even though in some countries there's talk about a second wave. Does it make it a little bit more easier now following the ease of restrictions in terms of capital attraction for investment?
I think yes, and there's been an agreement, even though some cases might be tacit, there is an agreement that Ghana definitely has done something right in this COVID area, and the numbers we are showing are encouraging compared to other more developed economies. And so very often when I speak to the investors, the first thing they ask is, oh, how is COVID doing? You guys seem to be doing something okay. So is it okay for me to come? And we've already instituted measures at the airport to sort of have another layer of filtration.
The Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana has expressed excitement about the interest of Malaysia and other giant oil palm countries in Ghana's oil palm sector. Stakeholders from across the country have been deliberating on how to take advantage of the situation to make critical gains in the sector. Richard Kudunyako reports.
The training was organized to equip executives of the Oil Palm Value Chain Association with tools and strategies to influence policy. At the dialogue session, the 44 oil palm actors, who are farmers, processors, and service providers, deliberated on the issues affecting the oil palm sector. Country representative of Solidaridad, Susan Yemidi, indicated there was a need to ensure value chain stakeholders have the capacity to engage policymakers on sector challenges, as well as the potential solutions that will create an enabling environment for the businesses to thrive.
We are looking at issues of sustainability, issues of climate change, issues of livelihoods, incomes. We are also looking at policy directions that would enable the sector to thrive. For instance, Malaysia has a plan to to come into Africa. Malaysia is producing more, and they want to look at Ghana. They have targeted Ghana. So we want to see there's a huge gap. We are a net importer. So they want to talk about how they can be supported to be able to produce more, to actually produce more with less, and to be able to mill more, and to be able to meet domestic demand, and to be able to also support the West African market.
The oil palm value chain also covers smallholder and outgrower farmers, nucleus estate plantations, millers, refiners, manufacturers of soap and other consumer goods. President of the association, Samuel Avala, says over the years, the association has been engaging policymakers and the government on critical issues that affect the oil palm sector in Ghana. He says the association is excited already by the interest of Malaysia in Ghana's oil palm.
Ghana is a net importer of palm oil, so it means that we have room to produce as much as possible so that we can meet local demand. Now, we are not alone in this deficit in production. In the whole of Africa, and in fact, a Reuters account a report by Reuters in June said that Malaysia's palm oil exports to Africa, or sub-Saharan Africa to be specific, has been averaging 6 million metric tons per annum over the last 10 years. But in 2020, they project that it is going to go to 9 million metric tons. That is another 3 million metric tons more. And they mentioned Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Sudan as some of the countries where their market is developing. And what they are talking about in that conference, the title is West Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa, the next frontier for Malaysian palm oil. So you see, they've seen the opportunity, they've seen the gap, and they are coming.
The Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana has also been campaigning for the exemption of imported palm oil and vegetable oils from the government 50% reduction in the benchmark values against which duties paid by the importers at Ghana's port are calculated, instituted in April 2019. The workshop was organized under the second phase of Solidarida's Sustainable West Africa Palm Oil Program, jointly funded by the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Accra and Swiss government through its State Secretariat for Economic Affairs. So far, over 10,000 oil palm farmers have been trained in best management practices under the SWAP 2. Richard Kwejinyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
A 74-year-old farmer in the Kintampo South municipality has underscored the importance of farming as a single most effective enterprise to guarantee food security. For over 50 years, Wuniba Ubondo has dedicated himself to tilling the land from which he provides the needs of his family, including what he missed as a child, education. He discounts any claim farming is unprofitable in Ghana. JoyNews' Mohammed Nuruddin visited his farm and reports he remains committed to every day on the farm for the rest of his life.
I have built a house in Kintampo and another one in a village out of the farm proceeds. I also eat fresh food from my farm. Age, they say, is just a number, and for Wuniba's engagement on the farm, the figure poses no challenge. Wuniba has been farming since his early age. Though his father denied him opportunity for formal education, he will not allow that to shatter his hopes. He found pleasant solace in farming. Anyone who claims that farming is not profitable does not know what they are talking about. In the past, when parents were compelled to send their children to school, my father kept us in the bush from dawn to dusk in order to stop us from going to school. I would have become a great person if I had got education. But I have invested in the education of my children from what I gain from the farm. The eldest among them has completed training college, while 2 others have also completed senior high school. There are 4 other children that I am taking care of their education.
Panino aye secondary school, aye training school. Bakoso asana aye secondary school. Nanu ya bakoso asana aye secondary school. Anana medifi omunyina. Nte nkwaladodo sign ana odi.
Wuniba harvests about 4,000 tubers of yam together with other crops every year. He has never bought food outside for the family because there is always enough from his farm.
Weno medo afuweno mitimitu bayel pa kuraba ko ba 40 na medo hano omuje kofe omuboya no omuje me.
I harvest about 4,000 tubers of yam. There is another farm at Asima Koda, which is 10 acres and 5 acres just by the roadside around the mountain. I go there when I am unable to get here early for family consumption. I am expecting about 20,000 Ghana cedis.
When I fena esitata yetu de kalafi de metuano na manya sekaba 200 million na mitu.
Wuniba would not allow his children suffer the fate of losing out on schooling. He has through farming seen them up to tertiary level. That for him is enough proof farming is profitable. Wuniba's children help him on the farm only at weekends.
Say omo kwase no
Now that they are educated, they only come on Friday to support me at weekends and go back. When I pass on, they should know how to sustain the farm because it is their heritage. So I asked whether he has plans to encourage them to take up farming as full-time business. I won't ask them to join me on the farm. It is said that one business is never a business. So as they are in different walks of life, I will support them while I keep mine. At least we can always support each other in times of struggle. Now that they are educated, government should provide them with jobs. Poor roads and other challenges remain disincentives to Wuniba and his colleagues in this area. Sometimes it takes them weeks to be able to transport their farm produce to market centers. Until these challenges are addressed, they would continue to suffer post-harvest losses. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Now, effective today at 6 p.m., airlines that board passengers without PCR test results will be fined $3,500 per passenger. According to the Ghana Airports Company latest COVID-19 guidelines, non-Ghanaians may be refused entry and returned to the point of embarkation at a cost to the airline. Charles Dixon Yebo has more.
According to the report, airlines that also disembark passengers with positive PCR tests into Accra will be fined $3,500. Ghanaians will be allowed entry, but subject to 14 days of mandatory quarantine at a facility approved by the government and at a cost to the passenger. Arriving passengers will, however, undergo temperature screening. Also, Ghanaian residents who depart Ghana and return within 1 week will not be required to present COVID-19 report from the country of departure. Passengers will then be subjected to a mandatory COVID-19 test at the airport terminal at a cost of $150 to be borne by the passenger. But any passenger who refuses to pay to undergo the COVID-19 test will be subjected to seizure of his or her passport and will be handed to state security agencies. Subsequently, the passenger will be taken into a 14-day quarantine at a designated location at the passenger's cost. Passengers who test positive upon arrival will, however, receive further clinical assessment and treatment. On the other hand, passengers who test negative will be advised to continue to observe COVID-19 safety precautions following arrival in Ghana. With regard to transit passengers, those transiting and transferring through Accra will not be required to take the COVID-19 test in Accra. However, transit passengers will be required to adhere to COVID-19 testing requirements for their destination countries. On exemptions, airline crew are exempted from the pre-departure and arrival from COVID-19 testing, but they should follow the airline policy for testing. In contrast, children under 5 will not be required to undergo testing on arrival at the Kotoka International Airport. For departing passengers, all international departing passengers will be required to adhere to COVID-19 testing requirements for their destination countries. When it comes to traveling with pets, it is allowed in guidelines of the Veterinary Services Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Now, we have in the past few weeks been exploring the tourism potentials of the Volta region. According to the manager of the Tafi Atome Monkey Sanctuary, Francis Akwe, the revenue generated has since been used for developmental projects in the community. Here's our quick take for today.
COVID-19, we're running smoothly. And yes, we have the tourist season. We have the peak and the low seasons. The peak season starts from around the middle of May through to September, and during this time we record at least foreign tourists. We record at least 150 per week, and then local tourists we also record around 80 per week. Yes, actually it is what builds this very village. It benefits everyone. For example, out of the proceeds we derive from this, we've been able to build a clinic. There's American philanthropists who help us to realize a computer lab, a library, and a nursery.
Well, exactly 7:30 p.m. tonight, the Center for Coastal Management of the University of Cape Coast will engage some political parties on the ailing fisheries sector. So we will be bringing you that, but that'll be it for Business Live today. I'm Israel Live. You have a good evening.